I did have one other speaker who was supposed to be coming on to this one. I don't know if she's going to jump on, but we can kind of get sort of started with the final little goodbye type thing. It's so weird to like be at the end of this crazy few months. Like this has been in motion since like last year November, like in terms of me actually actively like doing interviews or talking to people. And it was an idea in like September or just before September, and September was when I started like messaging people. So it's just been this really long like drawn out, and now it's like finishing, but not finishing because I'm going to continue the podcast. So it's very strange. So thank you for joining me and being part of this very strange moment for me.
It's probably bittersweet, right? Because you put so much time and energy and effort into it, but it certainly doesn't have to be the end.
Yeah, exactly. And I said to my husband, I was like, I don't really know what to do or where to go from here. And he was just like, I'm pretty sure you're going to be in this space. Like this was at the beginning of this. Like I think I'd already interviewed like, I don't know, 30 women or something. And he was like, yeah, I think you're going to continue to be in the space. I think this is going to be a thing for you. And yeah, and I was like, is it? Like, I don't know. Like, are you sure? And it's just been this thing where I'm now in training to like, learn more about birth and bereavement and kind of being there for people in a sort of doula sense. And then I'm like looking at coaching and all this other stuff as well. And I just didn't expect to be here. And it's like I love it, but I hate it in so many ways. Like I feel like all of us feel that way in a sense, right?
Yeah, it's definitely I think you've landed where you're meant to be because I was like covered in goosebumps as you were talking, and I was just like, that's just like a sign of like you found your path and you're following your path and you're exactly where you're meant to be. And so, yeah, but with everything, it's not smooth sailing. There's plenty of bumps along the way and learning curves.
Yeah, I've definitely had those. I don't I gave up with the live on YouTube. Like it just wasn't happening. So this is going to be on YouTube, but it's not really didn't stream live to YouTube. It's going to say live, but it didn't stream live. It only sort of went live here, and you had the link in the live video library, but it was just, yeah, so many things to learn and know and do. And yeah, unfortunately I didn't know it all like straight away. That would have been,
Well, you have done an amazing job, and this has been an amazing event and such a safe space and place for people to come wherever they are in their season of infertility or pregnancy loss. And I think only beautiful things can come from that.
yeah, thank you. I feel like, yeah, it's just been this really amazing whirlwind roller coaster. And yeah, speaking to so many women, and I think we all just we just want to make a difference in this space. And I think we're all doing that in some way, even if it's small or for some ladies like super big because they're like just getting to so many women. So yeah, it's amazing.
Absolutely. Hi, Leslie.
Hey,
Hi guys, how are you?
good. We're ending this chapter of lives for the joy of sunflowers, and
That's amazing.
I was just saying I feel really weird about it because I've just been doing this for like 2 days, like throughout, and now I just did it for 2 hours, and now this is the final hour, and I feel weird.
I think I was listening to Ashley. I mean, you've done such an amazing job. It's all been so organized, and so many voices have been able to tell their stories, and hopefully, at least one woman, hopefully many, doesn't feel alone. because I think that's part of going through all of this. We all have experienced feeling so alone in the process, and the more we use our voice and speak out, that, you know, this is grief layered in so many ways, and we need all the support. I think it's just beautiful what you've done. So congratulations, and thank you for inviting me and having me here. I'm in Mexico, so all the way from Mexico.
Oh, wow. I wondered where you'd be, because I know you said you moved, I think. Yeah.
Yes, I moved, but in Mexico. So from one city in Mexico to another city in Mexico.
I wasn't sure if you moved away, like, yeah, to Mexico. But
Yes.
cool. Yeah. But maybe we should like talk about how we like came into the space, like how we realized what we were going to do, like what we wanted to do. So like for you, like with the conscious parenting, like, and how you wanted to apply that, and with you, Ashley, how you apply your like yoga teaching, and like how you got into that. Because like we just kind of covered like how I sort of moved through, and my husband was like, yeah, you're gonna be in this space, and I was like, no, I don't know. And then I was just like, okay. And now I'm doing certifications and you know, going through the process so I can actually like be someone who can be there for women going through loss and motherhood after loss. And yeah, so let's go through that, maybe have a little chat about that, and also like how your spouses were about you being in this space. I know sometimes I've had a couple of women say that their husbands were like, I think you're spending too much time in this like loss space. And she's just like, well, that's where I'm gonna be. So, so good on her. But yeah, like her poor husband was just like, oh, so okay, I said the wrong thing. I'm not gonna say that again. But yeah, let's start off with Leslie. Did you want to start?
Yeah, sure. A disclaimer, my kids are in the house and my dogs, and you might hear some noise, so just in case. But yeah, I think conscious parenting, what it has done for me is really validate and give compassion to all of that I was feeling, because I was really angry. I was really resentful. I had 4 losses, and I have 4 children in this realm. So I had 8 pregnancies total. But I think it's provided me hope in different ways, because well, when after the losses, and my marriage obviously got very rocky, because there was a lot of anger and resentment and things that I was feeling that I felt weren't being understood by my husband, even though he was going through his loss as well. And that kind of made us go, he went, you know, really deep into his workaholism, and I went really deep into my mothering role. I had left my business, and instead of us being kind of in a parallel line as a relationship, we kind of went this way, and completely separated almost, you know. And I think that was the moment where I knew, okay, there's something that I need to do or be or feel, because this is not working out. And that led me into mindfulness, which then eventually led me into meditation, and then to conscious parenting, which we spoke about in our live, which is basically reparenting. So it's not a methodology you use to have your children do what you want them to do. It's more, you start to learn about yourself, so that you don't place upon them projections and patterns, like unconscious patterns, and things that you know, wish that they were doing because maybe you didn't have, or just want them to have because society has. And so it's really coming inward. And that was a big aha moment for me, because I realized that the miscarriages were part of it, but there was a lot more that led to all of that. And by going into, you know, my inner child and my younger self, and then seeing how all of that was just compounded by the losses, because it hit my abandonment wound. And I had such a big abandonment wound that every time that I lost a baby, and I just get goosebumps, like even when I say it, I felt like I was being abandoned by the universe. I was being abandoned by God. I was, and how could that be if I'm a woman and we're supposed to be able to, even though, whether you want or not children, you feel like you're supposed to function in a certain way. And so when I started going really deep into that and studying, I thought I was initially doing it for the kids, but really I was doing it for my inner child, my child self. And that was a big aha moment. And that's when I said, I know, or I thought and felt like that there are different moms that are going through this, and then they're putting their pain upon the children. And the children really are perfect beings. They're born, with their soul so intact, they're authentic, and we just indoctrinate them and program them with all of these things. So I ended up, kind of saying, okay, I'm not really doing this for the children now. I'm really like, of course, it's going to be a ripple effect, but it's for me. And how many other mothers might need a lending hand or just support, with this. So when you asked right now, how did your husbands, take that? It's interesting because we had made this decision, and Mexico is very traditional in many ways. And so we had made this decision that one of us was going to stay home with the kids and the other was going to work. And so when I was pregnant with my third child, my seventh pregnancy, I stopped my wedding planning business and I dedicated myself fully to being a mother. But I had all this baggage that I was carrying from the miscarriages, and I wasn't fully how I wanted to be. I didn't realize this. This was unconscious. I see it now in hindsight. So when I decided, okay, I'm going to go and start doing this and be a coach, I think it was a big surprise for my husband and something we had to, work on, because since he was the one that was working and I was the one that was at home, what did that mean for the children? And how could we navigate that? And that's when it got really interesting, because we started to see how, because of the way society does things, we were just saying, oh, I'll give 50% and I'll give 50%. And that's completely backwards. We have to give 100 and 100, and just because, he's working doesn't mean he can do the father things that are also nurturing and being there and providing structure, and not just financial. I mean, like in the day-to-day things that happen with kids. So it was like a revolution in my family. And now that we're kind of out of that space of him feeling like, oh my gosh, how did all of this change? This is not what I signed up for. He's kind of gone on his journey. For many years, I pushed him and I would put books by his side and I would say, come on, come along with me, until I realized the more energy I put into that, the more energy I was taking from me. And I was just projecting and judging that he wasn't doing the work. And then when I let go, he finally started on his own. And so now he's fully supportive. He's seen the change. Like I said, it's a ripple effect with my children. And in me providing space for women that have gone through loss, that have gone through abandonment, or any of the wounds that we carry, that when we go through miscarriage, all of those are touched, because so there's the 5 major wounds, like humiliation, rejection, abandonment, injustice, betrayal. All of these are touched by miscarriage. It's a very compounded, type of grief. And so it's been an honor for me to be able to work with women who have lost and know that they are defined by more than just the label of being a mother, of being a woman, or, we're so much more. We're essence, we're light, we're souls. And so it's been a ride, but a beautiful ride. So I went on forever. So sorry.
No, I think, when we share our journeys and when we share how we got to where we are, I feel like it gives other women permission to go and do their journey to where they're meant to be, and I think it takes listening to women and listening to that journey to then get the courage sometimes, because I mean, it's taken me a little bit, just from the beginning of this event to sort of, I think, I think midway, where I actually started looking into courses and looking into doing something more after. And it took like talking to women like you and talking to women like Sarah from the Pregnancy After Loss doula, because, you know, you guys talked about how you're helping women, and I was like, well, I'd like to help women. And then I was like, but do I have anything to give? And so, you know, when you hear these stories and you hear the journeys, it's just, it makes you realize that we all have something to give. We all have something to offer that's so unique, and it's going to speak to someone. And whoever that's going to speak to, is it's going to change their life. Like, you know, even in a small way, it could change their life. So yeah, or never say sorry to
100%.
good. What about you, Ashley?
I love what you do, Leslie. That is just so amazing. And I was covered in goosebumps, and I was just thinking, wow, what
Oh,
you
thank you
offer
so
is
much.
so needed, because it it just is life changing what you do. And to know that and to dive into that is just, I love it and I respect it. So thank you for doing what you offer. And
Thank you so
um,
much.
you're welcome. My journey really was, me landing on my mat and not realizing that that's exactly what I needed to find peace with grief from the past, and for me to really come home to myself and to embody myself in a mind, body, and spirit way that I was completely disconnected from. And I love that I just followed my calling like during COVID, and I was like, no, there is just, I had 3 kids at home, and I was like, this is so needed. And I would not have my third if I had not learned all of these things and had all these teachings. And I didn't think that this was possible for me. I had unexplained infertility with no answers, and I didn't think I could conceive naturally without using a clinic. And I didn't want to do that again. And so I just had an inner knowing, and I just followed it. And I was like, this needs to be offered and this needs to be available to women so that they can help themselves, because there's all the medical and physical intervention out there that you want and medication, but there's nothing to go alongside of it. And it's really a missing piece. And to take a holistic approach and to really nurture all of you and to just nourish yourself in all the ways that you probably aren't, and to look and deal with all of those emotions that come along with it, because they're really challenging and they're really predominant, and knowing what to do with them and not suppressing them and being afraid of them and running away from them. And that was me. And so, I did it both ways. I had twins and I was forever grateful for them, but it wasn't something I was going to put myself through again to have more children. So I feel like, you know, you have an inner knowing, and to trust that inner knowing and to trust that intuition and to follow your heart, because you won't go wrong. And it was just like, I love being able to serve, and I love being able to help women, and I love being able to just see the change and transformation within them. It's beautiful. And to just provide a safe, sacred space where they can be exactly where they're at, because there's no shame or judgment. And it's just to meet people where they're at, because all we ever really want, especially on a fertility journey, is to be seen and heard for where we are.
Mm, definitely. Yeah, I think what both of you do is just so beautiful. Like, and it's amazing, you know, there's just so many ways that sort of women help women within this space. Have you found that? Like, there's just so many different things that can be done. Like, even when we think about like acupuncture or like hypnotism, and you know, there's just a lot of different things, and a whole array, and it's so individualized, and each woman has their own philosophies in a sense as well, and like ways that they approach it. And there's space for all of us. There's space for every woman who wants to help women. And it's just, I think it's just so beautiful and amazing that we can all just kind of be in the space and offer, and it just means that no woman is left without.
Yeah. I love what Ashley was saying, because yeah, the only way out is through, right? And how she was saying, just, you know, on her mat with herself and this inner knowing. And it's this inner knowing starts to tell us that the mirror is, we need to go inward, and there's something there that's stuck. And I think all of the different modalities, or everything that we do, whether it's on a physical, emotional, mental, spiritual realm, which I believe all of them should be looked at, they're all a part of the whole, but they all have a tendency or they should, in my opinion, my humble opinion, is to go inward, because this is where we'll find, you know, that essence, that maybe those stuck emotions, that resentment, everything that needs to be released, so that we can be grounded in what finding meaning means for us, or that we can release so that our body might be ready to have another pregnancy, or to, you know, accept where we are in the moment without all of that anger, in so many ways. And so I think it's beautiful what you do as well, Ashley, and thank you for sharing, because that going inward is like the key.
It really is. We have the answers within us, and it's just, you know, tapping into that and learning to listen to that and learning to trust that, and to trust our body and not think that our body is betraying us and holding this resentment and anger of, why isn't this working for me? And just staying stuck in that space and place. And I've been there and I know what it's like. And I also know that there is a way out of that. You know, you can find the light, but, you know, oftentimes we don't realize what is sitting in our mind. And it's sort of, you know, once I had a light of awareness shone there, it was like, wow, okay, now I can really move forward in the way that I want to, in the way that serves me. And I didn't realize how much, as you said, like, you know, the patterns, the habits, the programming that were running on repeat and just sort of running my life. And I didn't feel in control of my life. I thought life was happening to me. And I really just changed my whole sort of mentality and mindset about that of, you know, I get to choose how I feel, how I show up, how I want to move through my day and through my life. And that's completely different than, you know, I can't do anything unless the doctor can help me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I love when you say, you know, coming home to myself, and it's, you know, it's something that, you know, we're like, oh, but we are ourselves, and it's like, but you're not connected.
Mm-hmm.
There's just that lack of connection. And you said about habits, that's something I've found really interesting, because with habits, a lot of the time there's a little bit of a disconnect with like bad habits, but they're still habits. So like if you like put your phone on snooze or your alarm on snooze every morning, that's a habit. It's a habit that you're creating, but it's still a habit, and it's something that you're just constantly telling yourself, like, I don't want to get up. I don't want to get up now. I don't want to do that. And they're like, just those like little habit changes can completely rewrite your day. I don't know if you found that, but yeah,
Oh, absolutely. I am, for the longest time, especially when my kids were really little, and I thought there can't be that much to, you know, waking up early, starting the day with like meditation and all of these things that I knew I should be doing, quote unquote. And as soon as I was like, no, I need to prioritize myself, I need to be intentional with my energy, I need to be intentional with my time. And I wake up on purpose before my kids every day, take that time for myself and just align myself and balance myself and move from that state and place. Like, that is better for me, that is better for my family, that is better for my clients, that is better for everybody that is surrounded by me. And, you know, I don't think that we put enough focus on attention on the little things. And it's just like habit building. Okay, start with that and then keep going and keep building the life that you want and that you deserve and that you desire, because it's possible. But you also have to believe that it is possible for you and want that for yourself.
Mm.
Yeah, keep building the life that you want. And I love the word that you said, intentional, because it's about that intention of what is it that I really want. And sometimes we're lost because we don't know. We don't even know that we want something. We're just mad, or we're stuck and we don't even realize. And it takes, sadly, something like a loss to kind of shake us up, or something like our body not working as, we think it should, or it should. And to really kind of bring us that dark night of the soul and say, hey, what is going on here? How do I want to lead my life, like you said, Ashley, a life on purpose, in purpose.
I've definitely found that morning thing to be a real thing. Like if you're waking up with your kids, I absolutely adore my kids, I do. But when I'm waking up with them, I feel like I haven't had time to like get my mind set straight. And so I just feel everywhere. Like I feel like I'm everywhere and nowhere and nothing can get done. And like I'm only speaking in these finite, big kind of everything, nothing, anything, those terms that are just so unhelpful, because nothing is everything, nothing is, it's we just like create this reality in our mind, but it's not actually a reality. But when we wake up beforehand, we have that quiet moment, we have that time to kind of set, like you said, intention, for our day and for ourselves in a way where we can actually be present, because we're doing the whole, fill your cup before you try and pour out of it, because if it's empty, you're not going to be making anyone any drink, like tea or whatever drink you're going to use as the symbol drink. But yeah, you can't pour from an empty cup. So I've definitely found the morning thing to be a big deal. But at the same time, I found it like really hard to kind of get into the rhythm of having that habit. But then I started like really looking into it, and it's like there is no easy for it. Like when it comes to habits, you have to just do it. Like it's hard work, it takes discipline, but it's like you said, building habits, building that strength to get up. And maybe one morning you don't do it, but the next one you are going to do it. And you just keep going like that, even if you step back a bit, even if you miss a few mornings, even if life gets in the way, you just continue. Because the more you keep going, the stronger you're going to feel, and the more you're going to solidify that habit, and the more you're going to be able to then take on more good habits, like you said, like the building up. And you have to just get into that mindset, and it's been a long journey for me. And doing this event obviously is like skewed everything, because I've been sleeping during the day.
What time is it for you? Yeah.
It's 11:30 p.m.
Okay.
To 12. But I've been staying up from like like 9 or 8:30 sort of p.m. my time to 7 a.m. the next day. Wow. And then going to sleep during the day.
Yeah, you've been doing a lot, and we're so grateful to you. I think, like we said in the beginning, the message, I always think when I join conversations like this, or make a little video on my Instagram, whatever it is, I always just think, if it plants a seed for one person, or if it makes one person feel less alone, or if it makes a person feel seen, then my work is done, and many times it's like just me feeling like aligned with it is just enough, but what you've created, I think, is like the magnitude of everything that you have done has been amazing. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's just, it's not even, it's weird because when you're doing something, like it doesn't necessarily feel like you're doing it. Like I know that doesn't make any sense. I don't know if you resonate with that, but like sometimes I just felt like I was just going along with the motions, and it was just kind of, and I was being changed the whole time. Like I was just changing and building, and I've seen a lot of change in myself and in the way I communicated and in the way I understand people. And then when I see things now, I see them slightly differently. And there's just been a lot of things that I didn't think would happen, or that I didn't know would happen. And the event doesn't even like feel like something I've done, because I think so many people have been involved and I've been touched by so many people that I feel like, you know, it's everyone's event. Like it's everyone who has been part of this. And I mean, I owe all of you like so much. And I think I've said this in another live, but I don't think I could ever thank all the women that have been involved in this like enough, because you've literally changed my life. You've just saved me from the pain and brought me so much healing. So thank you. And thank you everyone who's been involved in this, because I'm gonna get so emotional now. But it's just been so just amazing, and you're all just amazing. You're just incredible women. So thank you.
Thank you, Ella.
Thank you, Ella.
It's all those pregnancy
Yeah. They're welcome here.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll be doing another live next year, and we'll do another kind of like event like this, and we'll have some more topics. I'm hoping we can do some more like specific topics, like maybe we could do like a yoga topic, and like a conscious parenting one, and really get stuck into some of the details so people have a little bit more like information to then move into those spaces, and maybe get a few different speakers in each realm, so we can kind of broaden it out. But we'll just see how it goes. But yeah,
The beautiful intention.
And all the babies that will be born within this time frame.
Yeah.
There will be like a whole, I think we should have like the faces of like all the babies. There will be so many babies. Some yet to come, and your baby.
Yes.
I pray for all the babies all the time. And I think I've said it a few times, like I've gotten to the point where I just pray now. I'm just like, please God, give all the ladies all the babies. Like that, because there was just too many women to like, I was gonna be there for hours like praying for every individual woman. And I was just like, I run through all the names in my head, and then I was just like, God, you know, like, I'm really tired now. Like I have to, no, I don't have the energy anymore, but please give the ladies the babies. I think I will do some kind of wall for all the, you know, all the rainbow babies, and
the rainbow babies, yeah.
Maybe like a wall for, you know, all the lost babies too. And hopefully that wall won't grow, but we all know it does. But I'm praying that the rainbow wall will be massive, and we can make it all colorful on the website. And yeah,
That's beautiful.
That would be beautiful.
Yeah. Well, thank
and
you.
Actually, where are you located? I didn't catch that in the beginning.
Oh yes, I am located in British Columbia, Canada.
Oh wow, amazing. Okay, we'll have to get in touch. We go often there, so.
Lovely. Yes, let's connect.
Thank you, Ella. Thank you so much for having us. And yeah, whatever you need to get this word out so that women feel more supported, I'm here. So thank you.
Great, thank you. Thank you so much for being part of this and for you know, seeing me cry. Tears.
All is welcome.
No, all is welcome. Yes, exactly.
Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your days. I think you
Yes.
Yes, stay.
Get
Yeah.
some sleep and get
Get some
yourself
sleep.
back
Yes.
on the right schedule.
Yes.
I'm gonna rest for a bit, I think.
Unless you want to move to this side of the world. Yeah.
Yeah. Mexico, we have thought about it.
That's a pretty great place.
I'll tell my husband you said that. We've also thought
Okay.
about Texas,
Okay.
Canada. Like I love it. I love the look of it, but it's a bit cold.
You don't have to come in winter though. And if you do, it's still fun to be had. You just have to dress for it.
Okay.
Exactly.
Dress for the occasion. Yeah. Maybe the next or at some point we should do like a in person the Joy of Sunflowers.
Yes.
That would be amazing.
Like a massive just physical event where we can have everyone come. It would be amazing.
That would be amazing. Yes.
I would cry a lot.
Yes, absolutely.
Pregnant or not, I'd just cry.
We'll be right there with you. Yeah.
I'm glad, and we'll just make sure that we are well stocked on tissues. I will get like bulk tissues or something, like bulk boxes, and everyone will get a box as they go in, like of tissues.
There you go.
We've got it sorted. We've got door things, like everything.
So
No, you're all right. Thank you so much, and yeah, enjoy the rest of your day.
thank you.
Wonderful.
Take care,
Thank you.
guys.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.